Welcome back to Stegman Coliseum. Georgia leads the University of Michigan after 3 rotations. Here is Kylie Botterman with her final appearance here at Stegman tonight on the balance beam. Michigan has looked pretty good tonight. Again, bars were probably their best event so far. A little wobbly here on the beam.
Back handspring layout step out as her flight, as you said, did have a wobble at the end. It looks like she threw her left arm a little crooked when she went into that skill. Straddle full popa into a beat jump.
Her best score on the balance beam is a 9.575 in her career.
Up to a beat jump so far tonight, except for the one little wobble after her flight series. It's been a solid routine. Gainer full dismount, stuck. A decent routine, I think, and I'm not sure she really competed beam a whole lot last year, maybe 1 or 2 competitions. So here at 9.65 tonight.
Back over to floor. Can she get a 10 on the floor and have back-to-back 10s for the night? I don't know. Here's Grace Taylor, of course. We saw her perfect 10 on the balance beam a few minutes ago. She's got to be feeling very confident.
Here she goes for her first pass, a whip through to a double pike. Big lunge on the landing. Waste no time getting ready for her second pass.
Grace was a second-team All-American on the floor in 2008.
Second pass, a huge double tuck. Doesn't even lunge out of the landing. So I don't know if she will get that second 10, but she really is going for it.
You know, we talked about Hillary Morrow being a leader. I mean, you know, Grace is going to be one of the seniors next year who's going to have to pick up the leadership. And we saw such strong leadership from the 4 seniors at Georgia this year, having won 3 NCAA titles back-to-back, going for their 4th.
And you know, I actually do attribute a lot of the way that this senior class is leading them to the senior class last year with Katie Heenan and Megan and Nikki. They and Audrey Bowers, a great senior class, really taught the team how to come together as one. And it's something that this team has taken a hold of and really making sure that they don't let any of those ideas go out.
Grace is still smiling.
Grace is really always smiling. She's a very happy person.
And she should be happy with that score. Not a 10, but a 9.925. Again, Georgia, the #1 team in the nation right now on the floor exercise. Back over to the balance beam here, Sarah Curtis. A strong gymnast for the University of Michigan.
There she did a side aerial and flight series, handspring layout step out, solid landing. It's a beat jump to a split full. So far, a very solid routine. Haven't seen many mistakes.
Michigan has won 22 consecutive Big Ten meets. And we have seen them at the NCAA tournaments over the past several years.
Their best finish is they finished second place, but they are usually always a contender. Finished in the top 10 many years. Big dismount, round off double tuck. Fortunately had to step on the landing, but very powerful dismount, some that we don't see usually. And the judges, unfortunately, a big deduction on the dismount with those 2 steps, but other than that, a pretty solid routine.
Another Georgia senior who has one of the most fun, I don't know if that's grammatically correct, floor exercises I've ever seen at Georgia while I've covered the team.
Starts off with a huge triple full. And Abby, you know, she has the very unconventional floor routines that most people don't associate with gymnasts. They're supposed to be, you know, really, really graceful. And Abby really is just going to go out and have fun and get the crowd into it. And that's really her personality, too.
As we mentioned on previous broadcasts, she's getting married in June, and I asked her if she had a beautiful wedding dress picked out, and she was very excited to tell me she's all ready to go.
Yeah, she said all the big decisions have been made, and now it's just the little ones that they're dealing with, like what song to play. And
as long as she has the yes part down, I guess she'll be okay. She'll be okay. I can't imagine, though, being a college student your senior year and going through all, wedding plans is, I'm sure, very stressful, but she doesn't seem to be fazed by anything.
Just a little tidbit of information, the three ladies sitting in the back are Suzanne's sisters that are here tonight for the competition, and her daughter Allie was back there as well.
Suzanne also had her parents. They had a very nice tribute to Suzanne Yacklin before the meet started.
And there's Abby's signature, I'm too tired for this ending. Going over to high-five all the dads and give a dad a big hug.
It's got to be so emotional for the parents as well. And a great score for the senior, a 9-9. What a nice way to end. And I'm sure Suzanne will want her to carry that score over to the SECs next week. Back over to beam, here's Beckie Bernard from Michigan. Georgia's certainly leading the way throughout this entire meet tonight. Seen a lot of 9-9s.
Just now, Beckie, she did her beat jump and stopped and did a little dance pose, and then redid her jump pass so that she wouldn't get a deduction. So a good last-minute decision on that. Nice flight series that we just saw from her.
She was one of the seniors from Michigan that was also honored tonight before the meet. She's from Stowe, Ohio. She grew up near my hometown, middle of nowhere. I'm just kidding. She was a three-time All-American, Violet, Michigan, and was an NCAA All-American, first team on the uneven bars.
Unfortunately, it seems like there have been a few little mishaps in this routine. She did a switch leap and stopped, and then did another jump that was also supposed to be connected. Round off 1.5 dismount with a step, so the score is definitely going to reflect, or not.
It's actually a very good score. Now the other gymnast, we saw not connect, a few minutes ago, that got killed on her score. Back over to floor, here's Tiffany Tolnay with her final appearance at Stegman Coliseum. She's had a good night here so far.
Doing pretty well. First pass, a big double pike. A little bit over-rotated, had to take the kind of hopping lunge backwards. But not too bad of a mistake. Now she'll go into her second pass. She's a 2.5 twist. And I really think she was supposed to do a front tuck out of that. It's what we've seen in the past from her, and looked like she over-rotated the 2.5 a little bit and
forgot it?
Not so much forgot it, but just knew that if she threw the tuck, she would have a fall, but it's almost just as bad because she's not going to get a requirement in. You have to have a forward-moving element in your routine. And so...
We talked about this during the break. I don't know that Georgia has looked as sharp tonight. And that could be senior night, trying to get that one last big score before you head out of Stegman. Because we normally don't see that from Tiffany Tolnay.
She only has one pass left. A double tuck. And a little squatty on the landing, so I just don't think this has been one of her better routines, and her score is probably really going to reflect it.
She'll go over there and give her dad a hug anyway. Great career at Georgia. Let's take another look. And it's in the score, just as you said it would be, a 9-5 for Tiffany Tolnay. Back over to balance beam. Here's Kelsey Knutson, a junior from Iowa.
Very unique mount.
She was all Big Ten second team in 2008 and won the University of Michigan Co-Coaches Award also last season.
Back handspring aerial for her flight series, something that you don't see very often. And like we were talking about before, all the girls having tape on their ankles, you can see that she's had some knee injuries in the past.
She has her fair share, right?
I mean, this sport really does take a toll on the body, and it's amazing what athletes do go through for the love of the sport and just to keep being able to keep competing.
She won 3 balance beam titles her sophomore season, so this is an event, when not injured, that she very much likes to compete on.
That is a full twisting back handspring. Pretty difficult skill. All she has left is her dismount. You get so happy when you get to this part of the routine. Round off 1.5.
A little sideways.
A little crooked, but able to hold on to it. And a really good score.
A 9.8 for Kelsey. Welcome back to Stegman Coliseum. Here is Courtney Kupets, and how fitting she is the final competitor this evening.
Courtney in her first pass, a double Arabian. Took off a little bit with her feet too far behind her, so she landed with her feet too far in front and had a little bit of a stumble. It just looks like the girls are really tired tonight. Just probably emotionally tired, and it's amazing how much that can affect you physically.
Oh, absolutely. But, you know, overall, you know, I remember when we did the first meet of the season here on CSS, this team has come a long way. They seem to be over a lot of their injuries. They really look like they're in championship form.
There you saw her go. Whip half to Rudy Shushinova. And that's really not one of the more difficult passes that Courtney has, but it's a crowd pleaser, so you keep it in there.
You know, we talked so much about Suzanne leaving. You know, what kind of coach will Jay Clark be? A lot of people forget he's been here a long time at the University of Georgia. He's not a newbie.
He's not, and another thing a lot of people probably don't know is that he's the recruiting coordinator. Every girl that's on this team, he has recruited, and he's still recruiting. So he's going to be a fantastic coach because he knows the type of girls that he wants to be here on his team. One last hug for her dad.
What a career she has had here at the University of Georgia. Let's take one final look at her final performance here at Stegman, a 9.95.
A fantastic routine for Courtney and a pretty decent night for Georgia tonight. Coming away with the win against Michigan with a 197.4 to their 195.825.
The Gym Dogs remain undefeated against the Wolverines here in Athens, but Corey, overall a shaky night for the Gym Dogs here.
It really was tonight, but like we said at the beginning, emotions were running really high, and I think the girls, you know, they had to say goodbye to the seniors and especially to Suzanne, and I think that affected them just a little bit.
One shining moment, Grace Taylor, outstanding on the balance beam.
Grace did awesome, reigning NCAA champion, goes up there tonight after an unfortunate fall, scores a perfect 10, and I really think it's going to help the girls going into SECs in Nashville next week.
Thanks so much, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time here on CSS.